Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for logging on this morning. My name's Roxanne, and I am the storefront manager for Downtown Raleigh Alliance. Before we get started, just so everyone knows, if you have a question for DRA or the panelists, feel free to drop it in the Q&A or chat feature. We'll try to monitor those throughout the workshop, but then at the end, we will also have some time for Q&A. Also note that this will be recorded, so if you want to share it with your team or anyone else after the fact, we will upload it to our website under the small business workshops later this week. Okay, so today's small business workshop is focused on retail resilience, and there's no doubt that retailers have been hit hard during the pandemic. Sadly, some of our beloved retailers downtown have closed. Most are still struggling. We've had the benefit of having a few new retailers join, which is always exciting. But for those still weathering the storm, the ability to pivot, try new things, and keep pushing forward has been paramount. So during this workshop, you will hear from the leaders behind the Zen Succulent, Black Friday Market, and the Flourish Market on how they've celebrated small wins during a painful, challenging, and relentless year. The reason we are using the term small wins is because it's difficult to measure success in such an unprecedented time. For a lot of retailers, most sales are down. Staffing's a challenge right now, and it's going to take a lot to recoup losses. So finding small wins, appreciating moments of kindness, and celebrating a supportive community is what keeps these retailers moving forward. But to really, truly keep these retail gems, these business owners are relying on your business. We are so lucky in downtown Raleigh to have so many independent retailers, but the reality is that we could lose them. So we need to continue to show our support and shop small. So our small retailers need you. Okay, so we're here to meet our inspirational leaders, but before we dive in, our DRA team is going to talk about and share some updates in downtown Raleigh on current trends and upcoming marketing initiatives. Downtown Raleigh Alliance is for those of you not familiar, we are a nonprofit organization with a mission to advance the vitality of downtown Raleigh for everyone. So to facilitate this mission, we invest in an ambassador program, public safety, social services, storefront recruitment, community engagement, arts, programming and activation, as well as economic development and research. We operate through within the downtown element boundary and the downtown districts. So you'll see the boundary is this thick bold line, and then the districts are the colorful blocks there. So next on our team, I want to introduce you to Annie Alexander. Annie is our research manager in the economic development department. She leads our tracking and data analysis efforts and will be sharing some of the recent trends in downtown Raleigh. Welcome, Annie.
Hey, thanks, Roxanne. Hi, everyone. So I am DRA's research manager, and I'm going to go over a couple of the trends and data updates that we've been seeing in the theme of small wins and resilience. So you can go to the next slide. And so the first graph we're going to start with is pedestrian data. This is a rolling year with data points per week. And so you can see that pedestrian traffic has been increasing since a low point in July 2020 and increasing since then, and now reaching this kind of milestone of 50,000 counts almost every week since early February. And we expect to see that trend to continue upward as we've been seeing more activity downtown with the warmer weather. And then on the next slide, you can see the daily average count of our pedestrian counters. And this is trending upward as well since the summer. April is already 14% higher than the average counts in Q1, and we expect that trend to continue, as I mentioned. upward trend since Q3 2020. So small wins there for sure. We do, the next slide, we also track food and beverage sale data from county revenue and have seen an upward trend there as well. There was a low point in April 2020 there, and then kind of increasing since then. Our latest data is from February, but you can see with the percentage line that February is the closest that we've gotten to matching the pre-pandemic sales. So February 2021 was still 62% of February 2020 sales, but it's getting there to meet matching there, and we're seeing an upward trend again since April. So some positives there. On the next slide, we have a couple different indicators for hotels and tourism. Again, some data from Wake County and from Visit Raleigh. Not surprisingly, hotel occupancy was a little bit down from 2019, but there are still some positives from looking at this data. We see, again, the low point was April 2020, and the latest data here is from January, which is generally a lower month for occupancy anyway. But still, there has been a 38% increase in occupancy since April to January. And so we expect that to increase as well, especially considering that hotels in downtown are actually booked up for the next few weekends as tourism is starting to rebound. We have events resuming at the convention center, the upcoming NCAA tournament, and MLB event coming up. So we expect some positives there as we see that data for the next couple months. The next slide is another indicator we track, which is storefront business openings and closings. So 2020 did have a small net loss of 2 businesses, but in Q1, there's already been a net gain of 2, and that does include business expansions as well as new openings. So net gain of 2, canceling out that small loss from 2020. So positives there. And then we also track coming soon businesses. And from last I checked, we have about 18 new businesses that will be coming, a lot opening over the spring and summer. So we expect this is another trend that will continue upward. So then the next slide, a couple other research updates and what DRA is doing. We have initiated a public realm strategy, which is a study of downtown's public realm and how to better use the streets, sidewalks, and public spaces for a stronger and better downtown. And so this study focuses on 2 areas, which is the future of outdoor dining expansions and curbside zones, and then activating downtown through new small-scale events and public spaces. And so there's a couple different ways for stakeholders to engage in this process. DRA's annual survey is coming out later today, actually, and it includes various questions for downtown stakeholders, including questions on the public realm. So look out for that. And then there will be various community listening sessions with Innovate Raleigh from May 12th to 14th. To solicit ideas on how to better activate our streets, sidewalks, and public spaces. So you can sign up for any of those sessions, give your input, and then there will be a downtown rundown in late May, which is a virtual webinar to give an overview of these topics and another opportunity to give feedback, as well as just a general update on downtown. Then the next slide. Finally, we are also in the process of collecting some data on office workers and when they might return to downtown. And so far, we have outreach to about 25 major downtown employers and office tenants, which represents thousands of downtown employees. So we've talked to them about their return to workplace plans. Most have offices that are currently open or will open this spring or summer. With employees having the option to return voluntarily. And so many have phased return plans as well throughout the summer, with Labor Day kind of being a point where the majority of the office has resumed. And so we continue to outreach to these employers and also have a couple of questions in the survey on this as well. And so if you have any questions, let me know. Those are the general data updates for now. Thanks.
Thank you, Annie. I'm so excited to see the pedestrian counters going up like that. And I do think that that's going to continue with the warmer weather. It's also great to know that more conventions are coming to the convention center. So that's just going to be a positive trend. And then as well as folks returning to work, I think all of these things are going to be great impacts for our downtown retailers. So next, I'd like to introduce you to Taylor. Taylor is DRA's Senior Marketing and Communications Manager. So all of DRA's news, social media communications, updates, they all come from Taylor. And today, Taylor will be talking about some marketing initiatives. Oh, here we are. There you are.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to see you all and to share some upcoming events and programs with you. So as Roxanne said, I'm on the marketing communications team for DRA. And if you go to the next slide, please, Roxanne. So I wanted to give you all a heads up. We're launching 2 larger campaigns, and I've made a little note here that these images are still drafts. So we're in the development phase for these 2 campaigns. One is a loyalty initiative targeted primarily at retail storefronts. And the concept here is pretty simple. We will reward visitors' loyalty to your stores and storefronts with weekly prizes. And so there will be a collection mechanism for purchase information, and the storefronts will be sort of activated with these fun posters, and some of the social media images that are being proposed are on this slide too. So the concept really, loyal is the new local, be here, be loyal. We're excited to sort of pull people's pride into the conversation, pride for downtown Raleigh. And then the other campaign, similar look and feel, but we are specifically targeting those folks that we consider beyond the Beltline, so outside a 10-mile radius of the downtown core. And the tagline we're focusing on here is take a detour from the ordinary, explore downtown Raleigh. So a couple different meanings behind that line. One, the ordinary has become everyone's sort of the same 4 walls and the same grocery stores and the same places that they're comfortable in and they're familiar with. And we're excited to help people break from their routine and visit downtown Raleigh again. So this particular campaign will be a print, digital, and radio strategy that targets the Durham, Chapel Hill, Triad, and a little bit east of Raleigh target. So excited to launch these. You'll start to see some stuff at the end of May, early June, and then this campaign will continue through the summer of 2021. Next slide, please. Also wanted to make you guys aware of some current and upcoming programs and events that the marketing and activations team at DRA is hosting. First Friday is certainly not new, but we are excited to see more people participate as vaccination rates increase and folks' comfort level rises. And so First Friday, for those who don't know, is an activation we host every first Friday of the month. The program used to be a membership program, meaning businesses and restaurants that wanted to participate had to sort of pay an annual fee. We've eliminated the membership aspect of this. So anyone in this service district that Roxanne mentioned earlier in the call can participate. And it's sort of themed around a celebration of arts and culture, but there are many ways for retailers and restaurants to participate. A lot of that information can be found on our website. All of this information can be found on our website. We have brought back Dine Out Downtown. So every Saturday, sorry, that's not the right time, but every Saturday from 5 to 9 now through June, we host an outdoor dining event. So restaurants can participate, and then you can also get takeout and eat at one of the open tables on the closed streets in the district that's being hosted. It's hosting the event, and it rotates between 4 districts: the Fayetteville Street District, Warehouse District, City Market, and Glenwood South. This weekend, actually, we are hosting 2 events, one on Friday on Fayetteville Street, which is a reschedule from a rained out dine out downtown, and another one on Saturday. So a lot of opportunity to dine out downtown this weekend. And then Moore Square Market is coming back Sundays through October 3rd, and we launched this Sunday, May 2nd. That event is from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Moore Square Market, and we have a list of over 40 vendors this year, all who are eager to participate in Downtown Raleigh's Farmers Market. So very exciting program there. And then finally, I hope you guys have seen the sort of sidewalk decals for this program we've launched called Downtown Raleigh Routes. We've designed 1- and 3-mile walking routes to get people outside, active, and enjoying all that downtown has to offer in the beautiful spring and summer season. The routes begin and end in Moore Square, and it's a fun way for folks to sort of have a guided tour around the core of downtown Raleigh. And I'll go quickly through this last slide. It's just resources for you all. So we send a number of newsletters, one targeted at storefront businesses. There's an opportunity for you guys to subscribe to that, and you also can just email one of us if you'd like to be added to that list. We send a weekly digest email that will go out today, and we send a First Friday newsletter highlighting upcoming events. We also have a series of blog posts scheduled, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and a graduation themed post. If you all are offering any sort of gift ideas or specials for those occasions, we'll consolidate all of that information and put it on our website. And then finally, following us on social media is a great way to learn more about downtown. Also, if you tag us on any of these platforms, it really increases the likelihood that we'll reshare some of the content and sort of amplify what you all have going on in your own businesses. So happy to be here with you all. Thank you so much, and hopefully we cross paths soon.
Thanks, Taylor. Again, all of our initiatives the goal is to bring people out and about downtown, and so safely, of course, with masks, and hopefully that will translate into people trickling into your storefronts. But I'm really excited about these loyalty campaigns and targeting retail with that campaign. I hope that is going to be successful in the coming months. So today, we are here to discuss resilience and celebrating the small wins. So I have a quote from Brené Brown's Dare to Lead. She says, "We've got to stop every once in a while and celebrate one another and our team victories, no matter how small. Yes, there's more work to be done and things could go sideways in an hour, but that will never take away from the fact that we need to celebrate an accomplishment right now." So thank you, Annie, for suggesting that quote for today's workshop. I think it'll set the tone nicely. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Megan. Megan is the owner of Zen Succulent. So I know that you have not only just celebrated a 1-year birthday for your son. Yeah. So you had a baby during the pandemic, your store was broken into during the unrest, and you're juggling 2 locations. That's a lot during all of this. So tell us a little bit about Zen Succulent and how you fared during this crazy year and what's working.
Yes, thank you, Roxanne and the team, for having me here today. And I'm excited to be with some other great panelists, downtown businesses, talking about our successes and our small wins. Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Cain, and I'm the owner of the Zen Succulent. We're a neighborhood plant and gift shop that's located in both downtown Durham and downtown Raleigh. Something about our storefronts is it has a neighborhood feel to it, meaning that it's a small location, typically less than 800 square feet, run by one shopkeep at a time. Something about our storefront, other than offering low maintenance greenery, we also offer a variety of different handmade items surrounding plants, whether it's ceramics or cards. Something, however, that really impacted our storefront is that we had only that retail experience where we would see the customer come into us and purchase, not having that online presence. Also within our business, it is experience-based, meaning that you can come into our storefront and use our DIY terrarium bar, which is where you can make your own terrarium, have your own spin on it, and leave with that finished product. Now, when the pandemic hit, that means that we were out of two of our most important business elements for us to make revenue. Having customers that come in on that daily basis or whenever we're opening, and also having that experience base, because again, we're not having customers in. So what we had to do is take a pause on our business, and this time allowed us to do so and think, where are we now? What's working and what isn't working? Because we sold directly from our retail location, we had to polish up our website that we've had chugging along since 2012. We had to bring it into this day and age, meaning we had to put plants on our website, whereas we never did because people were purchasing them so quickly that there was no need to, because that revenue stream was there. So we added to our website with using some nice glossy images like what you all see in front of you in your presentation. Also, something that we needed to pivot to is having the opportunity for deliveries, meeting the customer where they are. That's not something that we ever did before. We had customers come into our storefronts, especially in downtown Raleigh, pick up an item and leave. But with us having our storefronts closed and later vandalized, that just wasn't a possibility. So we pivoted extremely into that. But also for our website, we made sure that we had options that people can purchase gift certificates, meaning that we can get an income in now that will allow us to continue to do business from these gift certificates. And I'm excited to say that so many people are purchasing them and using them, but also it is coming at a trickle pace. That was something that I worried about. I worried that everyone would come in at a gift certificate at one time, we would lose inventory, and that money might have already been in some other place. So I'm excited to know that that wasn't the case. Now, I mentioned earlier that we had a DIY terrarium bar. It is still closed at this moment, but we had to think of a way that we can pivot that to our customers. That meant creating our terrarium kits to go, meaning that customers could purchase on our website that's still experience-based and take it to their own home and own environment. That not only allowed us to make things ahead of time and keep our employees working and moving, but it also allowed us at the Zen Succulent to have expanded what we're able to do. By having these kits ready to go, it became something where people can order them online and have them shipped to us, but also have group workshops. I am so proud to let you all know that from this pivot and working more on those DIY terrarium kits, we had an order of over 1,000 go out. And that was simply because of the work that we had to put in early on in the pandemic, and it's showing off right now. So terrarium kits, doing it at home, doing even Zoom workshops like what we have right now. That means that we're not only reaching people in Raleigh or even the Triangle. I've had a workshop that was all the way in California by us sending those items there, directly coming from our Raleigh shop. Another thing that we did, which was a small win, we had the opportunity to pour into our employees. And when I say pour into our employees, that means give them even a stronger foundation in our business, but also in other opportunities. By pouring into them, we had a variety of different paid plant education workshops that only allowed them to have that peace and tranquility, still be employed, but also for them to add and enhance the customer experience when that time came. That was opportunities for growth in themselves, but also in our business, because we handed over some of the social media aspects. So some of our people that work at our business, that is not a career-long thing, they were able to take the social media knowledge onto their next position and next role after the pandemic. So I'm excited about that. Finally, it is something that we really wanted to do, a small win of having more information online for our business, not just in polishing up our website, not just polishing up our social media in the sense of maybe Instagram and Facebook, but blogging. We have a weekly blog actually that comes out that gives plant care, and it's known as at thezensucculent.com/blog. It is From the Potting Shed. So each week we give information about plant care that links back to our website for sales. We also give information on just where you might see Zen around town, getting that customer engaged by hashtagging us, and then we add it to our website and linking to their social media account, and had some great success. I would also like to say something that I might recommend for other small business owners that I did not dive into fully until the pandemic, was capitalizing on the other social media channel of Pinterest. You cannot believe how many sales that we have got through Pinterest by adding some of those glossy images that we have taken throughout the years online, leading them back to our website, leading them to purchasing. We have amassed a follower of a reach of 1.1 million people a month that goes through our Pinterest throughout this point in time. That was not there before. It links not only to our website, but also to our social media channels like Instagram. And it's really been an amazing experience for us. And we can't wait to continue to cultivate that. With that being said, my final point is that we have had some challenges still in this time of the pandemic. A main one that we're all kind of struggling with in-house is how can we promote things for people to buy and purchase, but still be sensitive to the times that we are in right now. I am very aware, and all my other lovely shopkeepers that we have at our storefront is very aware that the item that we have is a luxury item. It is not food. It is not shelter. So how can we sell our items to our customers with being sensitive that maybe some people aren't able to purchase this, or they're going through so many hard times that a lot of us might be experiencing right now to shove something of retail in their face. So what we have been really doing is honing in on providing things for our customer that they do not have to purchase, such as our blog that gives information, such as giving them plant care tips, or even a variety of different ways that they can style plants in their house that they already have. This allows them to maybe learn, relax, breathe, and when the time comes, hopefully they will think of us for their next plant purchase. So thank you all for listening to what we've been doing with Small Wins at the Zen Succulent.
Wow, Megan, that is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so impressed with your reach in terms of reaching folks through the blog and through different social media channels like Pinterest and things like that. I'm so glad to hear that you guys are hanging in there. And I know personally during the pandemic, plants brought me a sense of calm and peace. So I was certainly grateful to be able to order online and get that curbside pickup. So thank you so much for all that you do and all that you're continuing to do. Okay, so next we have Jasmine Bullock and Johnny Hackett Jr. They are leading the ship at Black Friday Market. So Johnny is the founder of Black Dollar NC, and Jasmine is the general manager at Black Friday Market. So I know this was like a combination of combining Black Dollar NC and Black Flea Market coming together to make Black Friday Market happen. And this is unique because y'all opened a store during the pandemic. So in some ways that's always going to pose challenges, but also at least you went in knowing that this was happening and were able to prepare up front for that. So can y'all share a little bit about the business and how things are going, how things have been impacted by the pandemic?
Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Thanks, Roxanne. Jasmine is going to take it. She's and it's been a lot for us. Like you said, it was definitely different. Not only starting going into a new storefront during the pandemic, but also almost, really creating a new business model for what we were doing, and really trying to still at this point trying to get it up to speed, because it wasn't always our intention to go into a storefront. So it's been different for us. And there's been a lot of role changes and renaming and stuff. Jasmine is the president of Black Friday Market, and she'll lead that expansion, this store here, other future stores, different things like that. It's a lot on her plate, but For us, just going into a storefront is, like I said, a little different because we're going during the pandemic. So I think a lot of the things that, Megan and Emily and other folks who have already had storefronts, especially with regards to COVID, it's like we came into those things with those, some of that at the top of our list, so we were able to start off with some of those, key health things in place. Roxanne, I know we talked to you. There's a partner on our team who owns a cleaning company who has COVID solutions and different things like that, sprays. So involving him right from the beginning, certifying our establishment from that standpoint, having him come through on a continuous basis to clean and do stuff like that. So, things like that may not have been at the top of our list, had we started a storefront or a business at any other time. So, it was different for us being able to just kind of get out in front of that stuff. And then after that, it's just a lot of learning, from folks who've around us. I hadn't been to the Flourish market yet. I popped in as in Succulent a couple times, looking like, a lost guy trying to get some guidance from Megan or something. She's got a lot going on. I could never catch her, but Pam next door with Deco has been awesome. John from House of Swank has been awesome. Folks come through. Emily's come through here before as well. And, we didn't get a chance to connect, but, because it's so new for us, it's just like, how do we get better from our business standpoint, our business model? Things always look great on the surface, but, behind the scenes, like we're pulling our hair out. But Jasmine can talk more about that and some of the things that, we've done to just kind of keep customers engaged and keep them coming through it, because she's done an excellent job, of doing that during a pandemic and stuff. So, Jasmine.
Hello, I'm a little shy, but so a couple things. The first thing is really just being open and being available. People will walk by and see pretty much it's a lot of things down, like you said, a lot of places have closed. So being open and letting them know that, hey, we're here, come shop, come back. Look, some places will be opening up. That's the number one thing. Giving them kind of samples. So if you don't know, we actually house all small businesses. So we have over 89 businesses in-house right now. So juggling everybody's inventory and business is a lot, but it's worth it. We allow them to come in and kind of display, set up as if it is their own spot and sell their products personally, and they get that personal experience. And customers seem to love that, to come in. It kind of gives you that, what was it, Sam's Club feeling, hey, would you like a sample of coffee? Would you like this? We also do giveaways. So Johnny has a game that he plays. Typically during high traffic hours, it'll be name the song, and whoever names it gets a gift card for the store, and they're already in the store. So typically that just makes them buy a little bit more. Hey, I can really go shopping. So that increases sales. It doesn't hurt us too much because, like I said, they usually spend over. So it's definitely helping.
Yeah, I think, and a big part of it, and, other folks are familiar in downtown because they have similar stores. You talk about Deco or Triangle Pop-Up with Sarah and the great stuff that she's doing. But when we open, we got some crazy, y'all opening the store right now during the pandemic, whatever. But what a lot of people don't know is, we got the keys to this place on December 2nd. And then December 15th, we were opening the doors and it was full of products in here. So that model that Jasmine's talking about of having over 89 business, I think it's 95, having 95 small business owners. These are 95 business owners that during the pandemic, when things were shut down, and these are vendors, and events are shut down. A vendor makes money from going to events. It may not be a lot to us. You talk about $200-300 a weekend, but if you're a vendor that's really dedicated, to your business, and that is, serving as a small part of revenue, if you're doing a vendor event every weekend, you shut down events. Again, it may not be a lot to us, but that hurts a lot of people. So when we opened this, you know, with the help of DRA, it's like 95 people. When we put that application out, over 100 applications, like in one day, like came through, and this, you know, we're supporting a lot of those folks. So the response is a little bit different for us during COVID, because you got 95 people pushing this store and saying that their products are here. You've got people who want to continue to support small businesses, Black-owned businesses. And then we opened during the holiday time, where I think everybody is just, you know, everybody's gonna do holiday shopping. I think everybody that had a storefront during holiday time had to see some type of uptick, right? Because everybody's shopping. So it was a good time for us. So, you know, we're still learning. You know, we're the novices in this, you know, right now, the new kids on the block. So we're just trying to, you know, follow the example of others and make sure we do our part to, you know, make downtown Raleigh a little more lively. So that's us.
That's fantastic. I think it's so important and such like a what had that like back pocket benefit of having someone on your team with a cleaning company to provide that security for not only your employees and your team, but also for your customers to clean and sanitize and make sure that the space is a safe space for everyone. That's fantastic. And then also your engagement on social media is incredible. But I think what really blew me away was the transparency during as you share sales numbers, and just knowing that this money is going back to these small businesses and the impact that you're having. It's huge. And I know that y'all do such a great job of creating unique events safely, where everyone's wearing masks, but like either block party type things, or I know you've got a couple events coming up kind of on the block where One of One Boutique is. So y'all do such a great job engaging the community, and I'm so excited to see this to continue to grow.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. That's the motto, man. We don't like doing one-off events, just doing something one time for people. We do something, it's going to be a lot of it. And we try not to stop. So as consistently as we can to provide those revenue generating opportunities for small business owners. That's what we're going to do.
That's wonderful. Very inspiring. So we're glad you're here to stay.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
All right, so next up we have Emily Gray with Flourish Market. Emily, I know that you share inspiring words through weekly emails, and you have such a dedicated following, but you've also had to make some tough calls during the pandemic, like many folks, and even like single-handedly recoding your website, which blows me away. So can you share a little bit about Flourish Market and what this time has been like for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Roxanne. Hey guys, and for those watching the replay, I'm Em. You can call me Emily M. I answer to anything. I'm the founder of the Flourish Market. We've been in business 5.5 years. The first year of my business, I was a fashion truck, pretty mobile on the road. And then for the past 4.5 years, we've been a brick and mortar store. We're in the warehouse district. And I think where I want to start is just by, and I love what you guys have already said and been so transparent. I'm like, yes, this is what we need from each other. And you invited my transparency as well. But when the pandemic first hit, I felt so alone. And that was such a lie, because we have an amazing community surrounding us as a business in downtown Raleigh. We have an amazing community of people who want to help small businesses and come around them. But I think I told myself I couldn't ask anything of anyone because everyone was going through this like shocking, horrible experience all at the same time. And so I remember first starting my entrepreneurial journey and feeling alone. And I think that is like a really horrible feeling, and it's also a false feeling. And so what I kind of did after the first week of getting over that and saying, no, people want to help. We're kind of all in this together. I'm seeing the GIFs being used on Instagram. Everyone's like, better together. We're all in this together. And so I had to swallow my pride and ask for help and be transparent, because I actually wasn't sure how we were going to continue to pay rent and payroll, because I don't know about you guys, but for our business, we went down to like 3 to 4%. of what we had been doing the year before. It was like everything just like halted and people held their money. And that was really, really scary. So I'm going to walk you through some things we did. And then I'm going to give you a couple of like tangible takeaways at the end that I think apply to all businesses, because it's interesting. I love hearing from Megan and Johnny and Jasmine, because we've all kind of done different things. And, but I think there's some things that kind of each person said that apply to all businesses too. So the biggest thing I did was, after I swallowed my pride, I went out on social media and via email and have done what I've always done, and that's listen to our customers. And I was like, hey y'all, it's panicking, need your help. Would anyone be up for jumping on Zoom? At the time, no one knew what Zoom was, but would anyone be up for jumping on Zoom and doing a customer roundtable? This is something we used to do in our store every month. Surprisingly enough, over 100 women raised their hands, and I got on Zoom with them. I picked up the phone and called some of our customers who've been longtime customers, and just asked them for feedback. Okay, what's the deal? What do you need? Because what Megan was saying earlier, I was looking at a store full of Easter dresses that no one no longer needed. And I also didn't want to sell people on things they didn't need. So I had to understand what were my customers' changing needs and how could we show up to meet those, like needs, right? And I say that loosely and use these because it's not food or shelter, but there was still some things they were spending their money on and we're looking that we could provide. And so did customer roundtables. I called people, and then I sent out a survey. So I've sent a weekly email out for the past 6 years. I've only missed one Friday. We have over 18,000 people on our email list and like a 94% open rate. Because we are consistent, we show up in service, like Megan was saying with her blog, we give like people helpful, inspirational content every Friday. And so between that, we had hundreds of people fill in our survey, over 500, and just ask them like, what do you need right now? What changes would you like to see us make? What's important to you? And so the things we did were an output of that. So website upgrades. Y'all, I didn't have the money to hire a web person. So I went on YouTube till like 2 a.m. in the morning, and people wanted to be able to sort by size of our clothing and some other things. So I was YouTubing how to code my website. And people told us they wanted our stuff online. So we only had about 30% of our stuff online. So I was like, all right, screenshotting all these pictures from the folks we buy from. And our team was like getting everything online. And that was like a whole week, right? That took to do that. People wanted cheap shipping. I hate that they wanted that, but they want that. They always want that. So we changed, instead of $5.95 shipping, we did $2.95 shipping. It's still like that. On some orders, we lose money, but overall, we make more money by having lower shipping. So that's something I'd have you look at your margins on. People wanted curbside pickup when that was reopened again. To date, since January 1st to now, 79% of our orders are still placed online for shipping or curbside pickup. Most of that is curbside pickup and shipping to Raleigh. It's annoying that people are not coming in my store, but we're meeting them where they are and we're still making money, even though the margins are less. So just to be transparent with those numbers. And then people told us they wanted gifts that were $20 and under. That wasn't normally our kind of zone of genius. And so I had to go out to my brands and say, like, do you have anything? Are you thinking of making anything? I even held a webinar for the brands we buy from and other brands saying, guys, people really want $20 gifts, and like ideated with them. Okay. And so we could have something for us to market. So that was to date, since January 1st, I pulled a report, over 50% of our sales are on items $20 and under. And this is people are getting things for healthcare heroes, birthday presents, celebrations, things that they still quote needed, for others. We also launched $30 gift bundles. With $2.95 flat rate shipping, we only make about $3 to $4 profit on these, but we've sold over 3,000 to date. And what we're treating it like is like a marketing material, because people are sending out these gifts. You can look on our website to see what they look like, but it's 3 to 5 items in a gift box. If I counted labor, we might be breaking even, honestly, but we treat it as like marketing materials because new people are hearing about our store, and then we're tracking, and about 22% of the recipients are buying from us for the first time who have received this. So again, low margins, which is not what we want to hear in business, but it's working in other ways. People told us they were struggling with mental health. So in our weekly email, something I've always kind of talked about is mental health, but I brought them inspiration podcast episodes from my therapist. We've done online workshops for people. We don't make money on any of this, but it was a way we could show up and serve our clientele and meet their needs. People were like, I need some joy in my life. It's so stressful. So we started doing Instagram lives every Thursday at noon, and we still do those every week. We do make sales off of those, but it's more like with engagement, and people like really engage with us there. And the biggest thing we did was porch pop-ups. So pre-pandemic, over 50% of our sales came from in-store parties where people, hostesses invite their friends, and we donate 10% of sales to their favorite charity. Obviously we couldn't do that in store. We still can't do that really. Don't feel comfortable doing that yet, maybe soon, but we felt that we could go safely to people's front porches. Everyone had to wear a mask, socially distance, only one person at the table at a time. And we did over 100 of those between September and early December. It was like having a fashion truck again. You know, our profit was only a couple $100 from each place. We were moving and grooving so hard, you guys. I literally looked at one of my team members the other day and we were like, how did we do that every single day? Well, we did it because that's what we had to do to stay in business. Okay. So if you kind of look at our Instagram and you think, or like, it's been easy, it has not been easy. I try to be very upfront with that. And that leads me to my next thing is stay transparent. These are like kind of the takeaways that I think will work for every business. Stay transparent. Let people know when they shop with you in person, through email, through social media, not creating a sob story, but just say your purchases matter. We're not out of the woods yet, you guys. Thank you so much for your continued support of us and the businesses around us, the restaurants around us, the retail around us. We need you. Some of us still may not make it. And so literally I've trained my staff, when people come to us in store and we're putting things in their windows for curbside pickup, look at them, make a meaningful connection with their eyes and to say, thank you. Thank you. Your purchase means so much. People need to keep hearing that, because literally everyone I talk to is shocked that stores might still close, or that we are still not doing anywhere close to what we were doing in 2019 in sales or in margins. And so keep that in front of people, right? I think that helps all of us, right? I give an incredible in-store experience. So we're obviously, we can say we're fighting with the Amazons and the big brands, but I truly don't think we are when we offer a really good experience. So we've done a lot of staff training, even more than we had before pre-pandemic, in giving that good experience. And then the last thing I'll say is don't be afraid to keep asking for help and listening to your customers. This has always served us well in our 5.5 years of business. So we've sent out more surveys. We do Instagram story voting. I still have customer roundtables. I'll pull customers over in the store if I'm in there and ask for their feedback on things, because as we re-enter the new not so normal, right? Like things are changing. A lot of things are changing for the better, but they're still changing. So our customers' needs are changing again. And it's kind of like, well, crap. Okay, new spaghetti at the wall. Do we go back to what we did before? Is that going to work? And so having your ear to the ground with customers, listening to what their needs are and their ideas are, you'll probably start to hear common themes. And that is what's informing our next steps, and always will inform our next steps. And so I think just asking them for help, getting their feedback, pulling them aside in store, calling them up, doing a Zoom roundtable, whatever it takes to really understand your customers' changing needs, their wants, desires, their hopes for you, is really helpful. And don't be afraid to make that direct ask for help, for people to shop with you, and not just you, but our whole downtown retail, whole downtown Raleigh ecosystem. Helps us all.
That's amazing, Em. I think my big takeaway from talking to everyone is just, I'm so blown away by the retailers, and the restaurants and all of the folks, the small businesses downtown. Not only are you dealing with the day-to-day of running and operating your business and making sure that you're at least breaking even and things like that, but also you're finding, just the mental exhaustion that it takes to find all these ways to connect and stay in front of your customers. It's y'all are all going above and beyond, and I can't imagine, I don't know how you have the brain space for it all and are able to do it all. It's really impressive. And I think that the biggest takeaway is that our small businesses need our support. And so if you would be sad that downtown Raleigh doesn't have a lot of restaurants or doesn't have a lot of retail, you have to be involved, and you have to come out and support these businesses. And if you're not feel comfortable going in stores, that's totally fine. A lot of these businesses have put so much time and effort into updating their website and having resources online available for everyone so that you can shop comfortably. But yep, if we want to keep our small businesses in downtown, we got to support them. Moral of the story. So thank you to all of these businesses, Emily, Jasmine, Johnny, Megan, but then also all of the other retailers around downtown Raleigh. We appreciate you and are so grateful that you're part of our city and what makes it great. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that we can stop share. There we are. So that we can look at some questions real quick to see if there are any in the chat. Okay. So bear with me while okay. Well, a lot of feedback is just celebrating the work that you all have put in. And so thank you, Jessica, for the positive words. And okay, it doesn't look like we have any specific questions right now, but if anybody is interested in dropping a question in, please do so. We've got a few minutes here with these wonderful business owners. And again, I'm really looking forward to the springtime and the warmer weather and folks getting vaccinated and people returning to work and seeing these trends, these positive trends happening in downtown as foot traffic increases. Because I know right now, foot traffic might be increasing, but that doesn't always translate to sales. And so for retailers, and so we all need to be aware of that. And that's why DRA is trying to focus on a retail campaign to get people shopping, because everyone loves to go grab a beer or a drink or get some delicious food from one of these wonderful restaurants. But we really need to make sure that we've got great holidays, birthdays coming up, Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduations are happening. These poor students that are going through this during this time, all great reasons to come out and support these businesses. One question came up is how often are the small business workshops? These do happen quarterly. So DRA will produce at least one per quarter. We do try to create a diverse round of content and focus topics, but for this one, we were just really wanting to highlight our small businesses and our retailers and focus on retail right now. So a lot of encouraging words are coming through. Thank you so much for sharing the wins. We can do this. Thank you so much for telling your stories. It's a constant process. Your shops look great. So a lot of support coming through the chat, and I just appreciate you all. And even for all this, I mean, we have so many great small businesses and downtown retailers. We have Read With Me Books. That's now part of their pivot has been introducing adult books, which is great because I like to pop in there and get books. We've got Raleigh Vintage and Revolver on Glenwood. Then there's, of course, Raleigh Denim, Quirkus, Deco's now reopened. We have so many wonderful businesses and places to shop, and we want to keep that as part of our downtown. So.
And Roxanne, I was on the roundtable you guys did with the marketing firm who's working on the marketing campaign. Loyal is the new local. One of the suggestions I made, I'm like, let me just plug this again, is because Jessica's like, let's get this information in front of folks. And I think like what we're saying is we still need your help. But I think there's like a positive way to paint that. And I really think the campaign should include our faces and standing alongside like a restaurant owner, like on the same block, a restaurant owner, a retail owner, service provider, whatever it is with brick and mortar, and show our faces together. And I think that would create even more buy-in, because it reminds people it's real people who employ real people who've had real dreams and gone for it. Because I think some of us are small business owners and dreamers that go for it, and the large majority of people aren't called to that, but they like want to support that, and that's where they feel purpose. And so I'd really love to see the faces of my fellow like brick and mortar folks, especially as a part of that campaign, with their stories featured in just snippets, right? But I think that would be very powerful, along with just the idea of like, we still need you.
That's a great suggestion, Emily. I'm so glad that you're part of that.
Thanks, Emily. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad you were part of that roundtable as well. And we are finalizing the details of that campaign, but there is a photography component to it. So we're making sure that the schedules and stuff line up there. But thank you. That's great feedback. Appreciate it.
And I think in this day and age, everyone wants to hear a story and be a part of the story. And that's what is so great about in-person shopping, is that you can create that experience and share that story in person. And then now we have to find ways to do that while we are all still virtual or mostly virtual. So, well, we have about a minute left. Are there any other points that you guys want to share, or upcoming events that that you're promoting? Anything going on? Oh, Jessica shared a great point, that in addition to showing business owners, showing employees of the businesses as well, because you know that obviously the owners are so important to that story, but it's the people that you see every day when you pop in. Not to say that the owners aren't in there every day, but they might be like in the office updating and recoding the website or working on a blog post. And so your team, you're just as valuable as your team. And so I think that's important to acknowledge the team as well. For sure, that's a great idea. And Megan, I love that you took some ownership, or you were able to share and allow your employees to take some ownership with your blog post. I think that's wonderful. But okay, well, I think that we are wrapped up for the day. I am so grateful for everyone tuning in. Follow Downtown Raleigh Alliance on social media channels. And if you are a retailer or small business downtown, make sure to tag us, and that cues us in to reshare and help get the word out. So thank you everyone for coming in. Shop small, come out and see us in downtown Raleigh, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Appreciate you.